You are able to see my screen?
Yes.
And document?
Just a second. Yes, I'm able to see it.
Okay, let me read point by point and analyze the job description.
Okay.
This individual will join a talented team of engineers responsible for the implementation and evaluation of App Dynamics software as a service. What is
Okay.
your meaning? What is your understanding? App Dynamics software means what could be that?
So they'll be working on some of the apps in the internally.
Hmm.
So
It is
how
not. It is
the
not mobile apps. Apps means business applications.
business applications.
Yeah.
So it's business apps. What they are doing is they are trying to integrate that to a software. So App Dynamics is a proprietary software platform.
Right.
Yeah. So they are trying to integrate that software to their services that are running internally at XYZ company.
So you mean to say App Dynamics is a PaaS service,
PaaS
platform
service.
as a
Yeah.
service.
Platform as a
They,
service.
it is just like your typical traditional Visual Studio kind of thing.
Yeah. Some ID we can say that.
ID, you take anything, Eclipse or Eclipse is very less, but Visual Studio is the topmost ID, I can say.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Now, software as a service, they will be producing the modules by modules for business applications access,
Yeah.
keeping our SaaS operations alive across all customer servers.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
the customer servers are on network basically.
Okay.
We are not yet confirmed whether this is configured totally on the cloud network or
On premises
cloud
network.
and combination of on-premises network. We are not sure, and what cloud services they are using, we are not aware of this. You keep
So
that
it is
question.
mentioned actually. It is
No,
mentioned
hold
in
on.
that.
I am not going to discuss further. Now, in the top level, what they have given, I am discussing up to that context.
Okay.
When we go through complete document, we might get detailed skills sets required. Then we can map back.
Okay. Sure.
Right. Normally
Okay.
what happens in the JD, every
Hmm.
company gives top description. Then later on they'll
Okay.
give requirement,
Okay.
skills required, essential or
Hmm.
optional, such kind of things.
Okay.
Then you will be responsible for driving significant technical initiatives forward
Uh-huh.
with highest level of quality,
Okay.
including new services in virtualized environments. Here they are
Okay.
revealing it is a cloud environment.
Okay.
Virtualized and cloud environments.
Okay.
Now, what is the difference between virtualized and cloud environment?
So virtualized environment they use a hypervisor,
Right.
and in cloud environments they use some hosting environment like a Docker or something like that.
Virtualized
I mean,
environments, you mean to say individual VMs they are using?
so integrated individual VMs. I mean, VMs will be there, but they are integrated
Let us
as
say
a hyperscale.
I have one environment.
Mm-hmm.
My company has created some years back
Okay.
Oracle virtual boxes,
Okay.
VMware related VMs.
Okay.
Now, is it suitable this environment?
This environment is not suitable.
Then what is the setup they have made it as per your understanding?
As per my understanding, it might be some centralized virtualization with cloud integration, something like an ECS or something like that.
You mean to say Elastic Container Service they are using?
Might be
No,
virtualized
no,
elastic
no,
container. They
no,
might
no,
be.
no. I'll tell you here. These ECS and Kubernetes have
Uh,
come 4 years back. Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Into
Yes.
the industry.
Yeah.
Four
Yeah.
years back, there was no Kubernetes. They used to use Docker also very less in the industry.
Yeah.
Now we are in 2020 January, and if
Yeah.
you see 4 years back, 2016, Docker just it got introduced by 2015. Slowly they are
Yes.
using Docker, and
Yes.
Google platform was not that much popular at that time like today
Uh-huh.
what we have, and
Yes.
they have Kubernetes but very limited access.
Yeah.
A lot of restrictions are there. Even that time I used to try to configure on Linux machine, lot of restrictions used to be there. So many Linux libraries dependency used to be there. And later on, 3 years back, I tried it. That time also this Kubernetes mini Kubernetes mini tab is
Minion,
there.
minions. Yeah.
Minions. So I
Yeah.
try to use
K3.
that. I try to use that. I could configure it. Then there is one video also I hosted on YouTube. So here, if you see virtualized missions, they might have connected it in a network.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm not going through detailed discussions at this point is your
Mm-hmm.
view. What is your understanding by seeing this
Mm-hmm.
kind of content?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding the client environment, I am checking with you.
Okay.
So I am throwing some kind of concepts to you. Now, let us say I have some environment, I have some applications, financial applications, e-commerce applications running in my company.
Okay.
Those I am using in virtual missions.
Okay.
Some of the virtual missions, as a host
Mm-hmm.
mission, I have configured the Docker. Let us say MySQL is there. MySQL server can be used in container.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Then, is it not this environment?
Yeah. This is equivalent to that environment. Yes.
That is the one example case we can discuss it. Then
Okay.
next step is our environment and amount of data supported is massive and growing exponentially year on year,
Mm-hmm.
emphasizing our need to constantly innovate and scale for our rapidly growing customer base. This is the main purpose they are using this one, because rapidly if it is increasing, it scalability is required, massive scalability.
Yeah.
Massive scalability, how it comes through the containers only it comes.
Yeah. Orchestration.
You don't need to, that time orchestration was not there. Still, I'm at 4 years back.
Okay. 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 Got it.
Maybe you are referring in 2019, this particular JD.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
different topic. Okay.
Yeah.
2019 technology is different. 4 years back, technology was different. Even
Okay.
today, yes, we'll come to low level, then we'll discuss about orchestration and clustering, all these things.
Okay.
Right? Then the data is increasing. When data is increasing, what happens in traditional databases without having cloud environment? It is highly difficult to keep on changing the data connections and increasing data connections to the servers and increasing the server's capacity to load
Mm-hmm.
balance that. Load
Yes.
balancers need to be configured on different networks. The physical
Yes.
circus was very complex in traditional systems, because I have worked there, and I am also seeing the test of the virtual private cloud or cloud networks. So very
Okay.
easily you can do, and even the guys like you might have worked it, but the guys who are all freshers, they will not listen at all those complexities,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
because their mindset is easygoing, life is acquainted from the day
Yeah.
one
Yeah. Yeah.
onwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How I used to work for the deployments, weekends, where our work used to start by 4 o'clock on Friday and end by Monday 10 o'clock.
Oh shit.
40, more than 50 hours we were awakened by
Okay.
sitting
Okay.
in the office itself or on call at home, like
Okay.
flexible hours tradition. When our
Okay.
call schedule is there 5 minutes before you will get the alert or message or mail
Oh yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
through
Nice.
scheduler, right? So
Yes.
tracking call will be there.
Mm.
So here, one is database size need to be taken care. Another one is
Okay.
scalability of the missions also.
Yeah.
Still, I am not referring to any cloud services vendor. I am at
Okay.
my homemade VMs
Uh-huh.
and homemade containers only. With that, they have
Okay.
used it. Yes, now I am coming back to the 2018 and 19 technologies. Docker
Okay.
has got Swarm and Kubernetes also is there. Now,
Okay.
yes, in Kubernetes, you can create a particular cluster for each application, and the components of the three tier or n tier can be configured it. And from one application to another application, through app dynamics, whatever they designed as a service, each services can be combined into one cluster. Multiple things can be connected it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the rapid growing is able to face the issues. For
Yeah.
example, we have 100 million plus metrics streaming in per minute into SaaS environment. Okay, what does this mean in your understanding?
100 plus metrics in sense like performance,
Uh-huh.
performance per minute. They're doing like an what's that CDN? content delivery network kind of thing, and capturing the metrics.
It is nothing but a visitor's responses, right?
Yeah, visitors responses, or you can say like what are the 200 errors, 400 errors, or 200 I mean 500 5 series, 2 series, 3 series, 4 series, and 2 3 4 5 series errors that are getting from http https or something like that related to that.
Okay, it means L1 kind of issues.
Yeah, L1 kind of issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the key, let us say the key responsibilities promptly react to issues affecting the uptime of App Dynamics products. How are you going to do
Okay.
this?
So first, what is the architecture that they are doing on the App Dynamics products? How they are
Hmm.
integrating that? We need to know that first.
No, no,
Then,
I did not get. Can you give the clarity on that?
okay, so we'll check the load average first on the
Hmm.
App Dynamics products. So how
Hmm.
much in the first minute, what is the response time? In the fifth minute, what is the response time? 15th
Hmm.
minute, what is the response time? Based on that,
Basically, the
we will,
network latency report, you will be pulling it.
yes, uptime, basically uptime with network latency.
Yes, both.
Yeah,
Hmm.
both.
Hmm.
I'll use a top command or an uptime command on Linux machines. Basically,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
the emphasis of that particular
Hmm.
line.
Hmm. And when you say we discussed about the cloud network,
Yeah.
now one more thing we forgot to discuss it. Here they have connected to across locations. Looks like
Mhm. Yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
we
yeah.
read
So
it
they are
across
hosting. They're
locations.
uh
Uh, are these cloud networks are connected or how it is? What is your assumption?
There might be hosting in 2 to 3 regions,
Hmm.
and based on that, they are using hosted zones like a
Right.
DMZ or something like that.
Right. In it means this say environment replica is deployed.
Yeah. Replica sets are deployed.
Let us talk in deployment sense.
Okay.
Okay. When it is deployed, is it like a image they might have configured it, or replica is there across the regions? It is getting replicated. How it is?
They might be taking snapshots or event replicas and taking that and copying it into another location.
Okay. What kind of replicas are required in this environment?
Uh,
You remember
Maybe.
here,
Uh-huh.
they're using massive growing, exponentially scaling rapidly, customer
Yeah.
base. So
Yes.
now, what kind of snapshots are required here? Let us say there is a three-tier architecture in each
Uh-huh.
app
Yeah.
Dynamics SaaS component. Each
Yes.
component is got three-tier architecture. Now
Yeah.
snapshots can be what?
Snapshots can be a database first and foremost thing.
So then later other things.
And your front end, basically front end code, front end like a UI.
Okay, can I tell one more? Like if you have deployment,
Uh-huh.
uh, 4 years back, DevOps
Hmm.
came into picture.
Yes.
That time, cloud services was not that much popular.
Yes.
Then 2 years or 3 years back, they are converting all these environments into different cloud services. Maybe AWS,
Yes.
maybe Azure, maybe GCP. These top-notch
Yes.
vendors,
Yes.
right? When they have that kind of environments,
Mhm.
how they would have used the deployment
Oh, traditional way of deploying
without
previous.
cloud services DevOps.
Ah, okay. So without cloud services, DevOps is first you need to grab all your code, front end code,
Hmm.
and then package it.
Hmm.
Get your artifacts,
Hmm.
package it, build
Hmm.
it, and
Hmm.
then get a zip file for that. I mean, zip file or a tar file for that.
Hmm.
That's your
Hmm.
front end code.
Hmm.
Then comes to your middleware. In the middleware, you have your all your components that are interacting with the front end code and your database server middleware.
Example, middleware can be what components?
It can be like an ODI or an Oracle data integrator or ETL process middleware.
And analytics or data warehouse.
Analytics, yeah,
Uh,
data
hmm.
warehouse like Informatica or something like that.
Hmm.
And that is your middleware. And then
Right.
after that, you come to your database. and all these three things will be integrated into an artifact or something, and you have your continuous integration. I mean, I don't know whether continuous integration 4 years back, continuous integration was not there. They used to do it
No,
manually.
Jenkins integration was there. Jenkins
Jenkins,
used to have integration with some tools, some
some tool.
GIT tool,
Yeah,
GIT, and Gradle,
yeah,
Maven, such kind of
and
tools
Maven.
used to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Maven used
yeah.
to be there.
So they
Yes.
used to build it and then release it to the production environment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. When they release to production, that also need to be there part of the replica.
It has to be a replica of production as well. Yes.
Now, if you see in the cloud services AWS, whatever you are doing using AWS DevOps or GCP or Azure DevOps, they don't
Uh-huh.
disturb the environment. They don't need to shut down the environment.
Yes, that's correct.
But in this environment, do we need to shut down that, or how we can deploy it as a replica immediately to replicate it?
Okay, so um, first and foremost thing is App Dynamics platform should interact with the software, right? So our
Huh.
software should get the latest change. Whatever is changing on that platform, it has to grab the latest change. And so it can be like a 1 millisecond or microseconds time gap. It should grab all that. If it is not able to grab it, then we need to check whatever it is replicating on the App Dynamics side is able to port it on our end. It is able to show up or on our end.
Let us
If it,
say my App
uh,
Dynamics, one of the software services e-commerce site.
okay,
Then there is another financial side, one module is there.
okay,
Then there is a HR module. This is a typical corporate setup, right?
oh yes,
Then there is order management system.
yes.
Then there can be people
Oh,
management system.
so we are in 2020, right? So we can have like a microservice on the App Dynamics side, and then integrate those microservices into
But
our
is
software.
this specification is denoting that kind of service using the App Dynamics? Whether App Dynamics has got that kind of approach to design a microservice?
Not sure about that. I need to confirm.
Okay, you note down that point.
Yep.
Okay, then another thing, promptly react to issues affecting the uptime App Dynamics products. We are still at this point only. You have such kind of replicas. One is deployment replica and build replication, then snapshot of the database after build is deployed. It build one or two files might have been changed in 1 hour, 2 hours time, because we're not going to do rapid change, right? It is nothing but a sprint cycle. The sprint cycle can go from 6 hours to 1 week.
Okay.
That is the standard policy, right?
Yes.
Scrum and sprint cycle, if you see, many people are following Scrum and sprint, but there are other practices also. Like Six Sigma policies, if you follow, there is a Kanban methodology, but that is a laborious process. The software industry, most of them, they follow Scrum process because of the team's education is required always.
Got it.
Right now, in a sprint cycle, 4 to 6 hours deployment will be there, including development and deployment.
Okay.
Now, every 4 hours or 6 hours, you think that builds are repeating it.
Okay.
Now, this uptime or issues, whatever you are doing, you are trying to pull some kind of dashboard through some tools, maybe Nagios or Relic or some other tools, maybe Kibon also. In some places they have installed it.
Grafana, Kibana.
ELK comes with
ELK stack. Yeah, yeah.
yes, right? Because 4 years, 3 years back, they started using ELK only. There is no cloud dashboards that time.
Yeah, yeah. CloudWatch was not there at that time, or Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. See, assume in any JD, they
Uh-huh.
have partially the modern environment which is replicated now in the market, and partially they are using the old environments with some of the tools. It doesn't mean they will update immediately. When the service vendor says this is the one beautiful thing, this is the miracle creation by us, they will put a lot of creams, but they need to test in the market. The testing period will take 1 or 2 years to implement it.
Yeah, understand.
We know very well how AWS and Azure struggled in the beginning with failure payments also.
Yeah, understand.
Right. So there were outages happened in both cloud services sometime back, some years back also.
Yeah, I mean, recently, 9 months, 8 months back, also AWS short site was down due to Portland data center down.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
Shanti
yeah.
Kumar, you said one question, right? So, to ask, does App Dynamics have microservices
Hmm.
to port,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. If microservices is there, it is very easy to deploy on and on every 2 hours or 1 hour builds. That's where Netflix and AWS e-commerce site operation is being done.
Okay, okay, okay. So, if microservices is there, then porting is really easy. You can create some APIs and then port it immediately.
Yeah, when they say
Microservices APIs.
rapidly growing all these builds and constantly innovate and scale, that denotes this kind of technology only support for that.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now there should be a dashboard tool which gives this kind of statistics, application failures, application issues
Mm-hmm.
with high latency, such kind of things, right?
Yes,
That
yes.
that need to be identified for tracking the issues. What are you using it? Okay.
Okay, okay.
And then conduct routine maintenance activities such as upgrades, new customer provisioning, hardware migrations.
Mm-hmm.
Now here itself we can catch one point.
Routine maintenance and upgrades.
No, no, no. What environment they are using? It is not
Hard.
cloud services.
Yeah,
It
it
is
is
not
not
at
cloud.
all cloud services because
It's
cloud
VM.
services has got server. This one serverless computing capacity, right?
Yes, yes, that's correct.
And for all these virtual machines, they don't need to do maintenance upgrades.
Yes, yes,
Maybe database area also they can put a flag in RDS, in AWS, in Azure also can do that, in GCP also can do that.
yes.
And when you say hardware migrations, from
Yeah,
one VM to there, they are moving to another VM looks like.
yes, that's correct. They are taking an image of that particular VM and then copying it to another, hypervisor or something.
Network,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
right?
Yep.
So there is a defect in compliance with the latest modern technology.
Yeah.
In such sense, even I am doubtful microservices they are using it.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
They might be using cluster or Docker, Kubernetes or Swarm or something. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Assist in analysis. Here itself we have questions to ask them in the interview also.
Yeah.
Assist in analysis and troubleshooting of app dynamics.
Okay.
Product performance problems. Yes, we have discussed about uptime, all these performance issues.
Uh-huh.
Then troubleshooting is required, it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
Okay.
want to troubleshoot, is you need to identify the environment specifications very clearly,
Yes.
right? Then
Yes.
they'll show some architecture diagram. Then what
Mm-hmm.
happens? That architecture diagram, you will be able to catch up some information.
Yes.
Then you need to configure out that kind of issues related to that environment.
Yes. Got it.
Right? Understand and proficiently operate SaaS environment infrastructure, monitoring systems, backup, automation tooling, reporting service at all. Okay, here itself another gap you can see.
Mm.
They are talking about SaaS environment only. You take a typical Zoho site, you know about
Mm.
Zoho, right?
Yes.
They
It's
are
a platform as a service site itself.
Yes, it is a PaaS basically. You can use it.
Yeah.
They are hosting on cloud services,
Yeah.
and this kind of situation is there. So what they are using App Dynamics is they are providing that particular applications to the customers who are ask it. As I said, I am using in my company like financial services, e-commerce, HR, order management service, performance management service, such kind of applications. They might be hosting it through App Dynamics, and they are hosting the environments also in different regions by providing like a Zoho software or any typical sites are there, right? PaaS
Mm-hmm.
platforms. Even Salesforce has got PaaS.
Yeah. Salesforce is a pass based only. I mean,
Yes, use
they
that.
are.
Those all
Yeah.
are having modules. Yes, Salesforce is
Yeah.
a big CRM package. It
GoDaddy.
has, yeah, GoDaddy. They have
Yeah.
different modules, right?
Yeah. Bix GoDaddy. everybody. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So monitoring systems they are using for each application separately to monitor in a particular network. In one network, it might be running more applications or something. But when you use a combination of virtual missions and local missions, it is highly difficult to manage multiple networks.
Yeah, I mean, they're using like old technology.
Yeah, mixed mode, mixed mode.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maintain high standards of excellence in communication and punctuality in handling of assigned
Same
tasks.
task.
Okay, in that line, high standards in is when you talk about high standards, they are mandated to convert into cloud services.
Yes. No, I mean, they are expecting that because if you are expecting punctuality and handling of assigned tasks, they might be taking the snapshots of the VM or the VM images as a saved file and then migrating that to a EC2 instance and copying the same thing.
Right. Now let us see what is their revealing information
Yeah.
to have the candidate background. Must
Yeah.
have 3+ years prior experience managing and scaling complex
Being
software
complex software.
environments for SaaS or web services.
Yeah.
When I say web services, without Amazon Web Services,
They cannot do
individual
it.
local web services are available, many.
Yeah.
Those
DigitalOcean
also,
is there. Yeah.
yes, those can be used to build our own services, to host those services to the customers.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
So
Understand.
AWS also, it is a product basically through console they are hosting it, through CLI they are hosting, through SDK who can operate the services in the backend. They are giving a
Yes.
lot of interfaces.
Yes. Yes.
These people, App Dynamics might be having little limited features, but yes, they are hosting such kind of services,
Might be. Yeah.
right?
Uh, um,
Complex software environments, or they might be using C Sharp, mixed up Microsoft and Java, Microsoft
oh.
technologies,
Okay.
punch
Okay.
up.
I mean, recently AppDynamics was bought by Cisco.
Mm.
That's why they are trying to integrate this. So they are doing something like a central nervous system, IO ops, AI ops actually, artificial intelligence operations.
Right.
So that is a platform. So they are to perform it, scale with one integrated platform to it
Mm.
actually.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the
Right.
major thing they're doing.
Right. Now, about dedication, I am not going to ask you. You have already qualified, I think. That that's where you got the call, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, excellence with virtualization and containerization platforms, Docker, OpenStack, AWS, and container orchestration tools. Now, tell me about OpenStack, where they can use it. For IaaS, you mean to say?
Open.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Looks like just a second, Santikumar.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So OpenStack is basically uh, they have their proprietary technology. They have their own hypervisors. They use their own containerization. Basically, it's a similar tool like on Docker.
No, my question is, if I
Uh-huh.
have one application,
Uh-huh.
what kind of services I can use from OpenStack?
Oh, I don't know about that. I haven't.
OpenStack started with IaaS platform, then they have
Uh,
converted into different demanding technologies. As you
okay.
said, as cluster management is nothing but IaaS only
Oh
with
yes.
Kubernetes. You are hosting
Yes.
the environment with IaaS.
Okay.
You are not using any PaaS there by taking the OpenStack platform, right?
Okay.
But
Yes.
AWS can be used for multiple operations like IaaS, SaaS, PaaS kind of thing,
Yes. Yeah. AWS is
right?
combination of all those things.
All three categories.
Yes. Yes.
And container orchestration tools Kubernetes. So since they
Hmm.
are using the Docker for
Mm-hmm.
containers, then Kubernetes is used for orchestrating. They are
Okay.
not using the SWAM.
Okay.
So the top question, what I asked, what I predicted, they might be using partially the latest technology, partially the older technology.
Okay. Half and half.
Off and off, yes. Because nobody can adapt into completely 100% into the new technology or with one cloud services vendor.
Yeah. Understand.
safeguarding their business, they want to take alternate this one, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many places you can see on-premises to the cloud services network
Yeah.
connection,
Understand.
VPN connection.
Yeah.
Then experience with uh, virtualization and containerization platforms, Docker, OpenStack, AWS, and container orchestration is required. Okay.
Yeah.
Configuration management knowledge, Chef and or Ansible. Okay.
Yeah.
So remember that they are using Chef.
Yeah. They are using Chef. So he
Okay.
might ask questions regarding Chef Workstation, Chef Knife, and
Yes,
Chef
yes.
Kitchen. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, some scripts, Chef administrator role, and
Yeah.
some of the scripts in
So
Chef.
what is Ohio? Ohio in Chef.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Ohio is the it can't it is like a Chef node.
Yes.
Yeah. Chef node, Chef server, and these are the components that interact with Ohio actually.
Yes, but what is the comparison I can give with Ansible?
So I mean, Chef is a push configuration. Ansible is a pull configuration.
Hmm.
So in push configuration, you have like a intermediate agent that interacts with
Nodes,
the server, the nodes and the server actually.
yes,
That is like that acts
workstations.
like
Mainly Chef and Puppet have got workstations.
yeah. So that's a push configuration, pull configuration. Pull configuration is used in Ansible basically.
Yes. Yeah. So with Ansible, you don't need nodes basically.
Yeah, that's true.
It is independently can talk to the virtual machine or some machines. As
Mhm.
assuming they are not using the traditional machines.
Exactly. They are not. I mean, traditional machines in the sense they are not hosting on the on-premises.
Now, on premises, there are virtual machines, their own virtual machines.
They are Cisco virtual machines basically.
No, it may not be Cisco virtual machines. Virtual machines can be prepared by any vendor also who is
Okay.
hosting the cloud services.
Okay.
See, Oracle VirtualBox is there, VMware is there, then you can use any other platforms, right? Hypervisor, and
Yeah.
Microsoft VMs, Microsoft Windows VM is there.
Yeah. I understand.
Through your Windows 10, you can build a virtual machine by installing the hypervisor of Microsoft version, right?
We cannot go into I mean we can go into that mode with a PCIe itself. We can install like a new
Yes,
PCIe
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then you can single root SRIO actually single root IO virtualization you can do
Yes,
directly.
yes, yes. So here, when they use Chef, what kind of network they have, we need to identify.
Yeah. So
I
what kind
mean,
of network?
these are the questions you need to drill down them in the interview.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They are given in job description, very high level.
Mm.
Okay, now Chef
Yeah.
is on what stage, which year onwards Chef being used it? What is the progress on year implementation of the Chef nodes?
Yeah. Okay.
And what are the reasons you are using Chef? Normally, if you see 5 years back,
Hmm.
Amazon used Chef massively, Puppet and Chef.
Yes.
And Chef and Puppet took lot of large organizations, Fortune 150, 100 companies. They implemented these configuration tools for the traditional missions initially.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That was a fixed network.
Hmm.
But if it is in cloud services, AWS,
Hmm.
to use Chef, the configuration is slightly different.
Yes. Understand.
You may not need a workstation. You may connect directly to the nodes. Workstation is nothing but your VPC.
Yeah. That's true.
Because configuration setup is different here.
Yeah.
What workstation is to do, it needs to connect to different nodes. The workstations might have been configured in Chef or Puppet implementation in the beginning 4 years back by taking particular network or group of networks.
Hmm.
Then connecting to the nodes in that network. The network configuration also file is required there
Yeah. Understand.
to go and connect through Puppet or Chef, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now AWS, it is not required that kind of thing. You need the VPC ID. That VPC ID can be plugged in there, and the script will be there, Puppet or Chef script. Then in
Mm.
that you will be connecting to that particular VPC by having open connectivity or something like that, or VPN connection.
Got it.
Right.
Mm.
Then from external configuration management tool in AWS, you are entering into that and you are configuring, you are doing the orchestration. But still the deployment is going to happen through Chef or Puppet or whatever SCM tool, the CM tool they are using it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't mentioned any SCM tool here.
No, SCM, they don't need to mention. Simple thing is GIT is acceptable by anybody. If they are still SVN favorers, I don't think they have switched over to GIT.
Yeah.
Because I can say all modern technology people, they are using GIT and that is popular. Later on, I can say SVN is the popular one on Linux.
Yeah.
And working knowledge of Unix Linux systems administration. Yes, that I don't need to ask you, you are well versed with that. Right?
Yeah,
So proficiency in at least one scripting language, particularly Python, Bash or Ruby. This is also, I know you have well exposed and experience also.
Yeah.
And the knowledge of TCP, where they are using TCP, can you expect?
The TCP is basically virtualization platforms. And they're using Unix and Linux systems administration, right? So basically communication happens through TCP and IP.
Yes, right, that is correct. Then HTTP network also, they mentioned it. It is part of the TCP, right?
Yeah.
Then familiarity with SQL and understanding of relational databases. Yes, installation, taking snapshots, all that happens, backups kind of thing. Here they are saying upgrades, right? Maintenance, basically.
Yeah.
Right. Now, auxiliary requirements. Experience in running day-to-day operations of a large-scale distributed production SaaS environment. We discussed that in the top itself, in the description. And experience using any enterprise uptime monitoring solutions. So the solutions are nothing but you need to identify the issues and take immediate actions with automation tools.
Yeah.
To fix the issues.
Got it.
Okay. Then aptitude for troubleshooting complex problems in technology, diverse environments. So that also we discussed it. Then energetic attitude and high degree of personal initiative. Of course, it is there. Capacity for quickly and efficiently handling on-call escalations and doing after-hour support. Of course, they will say flexi time.
Yeah.
That is a screaming word.
Yeah.
Then strong written and verbal communication skills. Yes, experience using a version control system. Here they mentioned it.
They mentioned, yes.
As I predicted, GIT and SVN they are using. Maybe for Linux systems, SVN they are using more.
Yeah. Subversion control, yeah.
Bonus requirements, experience in MySQL DB administration, clear experience with app dynamic software, knowledge of Java, experience using web server. You can see one trial version and have a look and feel with app dynamics.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I have started a free trial.
Oh, good. Free trials. Knowledge of Java, you have that, right? Ready. And using web servers, Nginx, you know, Apache, you know, Glassfish also, you know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anything you have any questions on these discussions?
As of now, I don't have any questions actually. I'm taking notes while you're talking. Yeah. So MySQL DB administration, I'm looking some of the aspects, how they are integrating with App Dynamics. I'm just looking at that. And if they are using Nginx and Apache, why they are using Nginx and Apache, I'm not able to understand. So Glassfish is also like a proxy server. It can be used as a proxy server, right?
Nginx has got some different features than Apache.
Okay.
Nginx company published some of the upgrades features 2 years back under a free book.
Got it.
If you read that, then it has those details.
Okay.
Apache also now latest version has got competency with Nginx.
Yeah.
But see, many organizations One architect guy is lover of Nginx, he will continue with that only. Right? If anybody says Apache is good, means he will not listen to that. That is the traditional mindset.
Yeah.
Now, many companies you might see in Bay Area with combinational of all mirchi masala.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
So MySQL DB administration is not required basically. If you can administer it from from something like a monitoring tool, which has
yeah, but
DB administration in.
we can do administration, but scripts writing is there, right? Though no tool will be ready to do that.
Yeah. So MySQL DB. Okay. Automation. Okay. Understand.
See, for backups and snapshots, you can do putting schedulers. You can do that.
Yeah.
But particular procedures you want to write it, that may not be possible, right?
Yeah. Understand.
SP stored procedures.
Yes. Store procedures or indexes or
Yeah, yes.
yeah.
Creating views. See,
Yeah. Materialized views.
yes, if you take RDS, you can configure those things in the front end itself.
Yeah.
Whenever it is required, it creates itself all that in that
Got it.
database itself, right?
Okay.
Because each database has got their own SPs.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
so this is basically the App Dynamics. This thing is real-time business monitoring. It's a tool that they have built.
Yes. I mean, with
Yeah,
that tool, they are building the business applications modules.
exactly. Yes.
Then they're hosting, they might be hosting like Johar in Salesforce as a
Mm-hmm.
separate business, but
Mm-hmm.
they're releasing these softwares to deploy in their environments, customer
Yeah.
environments.
Yeah. Like they are creating a platform for deployments with monitoring, basically.
Nothing but a product technology related product development company.
Yeah.
Overall profile if you see. But
Yeah.
where does this site reliability engineer role will come into picture? You tell me. DevOps
Site
is
re-
included.
yeah, so site reliability is like monitoring, basically. Only monitoring and deployments.
More monitoring is there, right?
Yeah, more monitoring is there. Upgrades and monitoring.
In
Site
the job
reliability.
description also they have talked about that only,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then there is a DevOps also, but slightly they might be using DevOps.
Slightly they are using DevOps for this role.
Hmm.
Mm.
Then automation tools.
Automation tools, Python is there. They are using Python basically. Cisco is meant for using Python from the beginning. So for automation,
Hmm.
so they might be using they are converting their Java code into Python as well right now. Some
Hmm.
of the teams are converting their Java code
Hmm.
into Python because the switches and routers, they don't work that much efficiently.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so they are converting their code because low level embedded systems has support for Python extensively.
Yeah, Python is a vast module
Mm.
actually. It has got vast modules,
Yes.
different segments actually, technical
Yeah.
segments.
Yes.
Okay, so is it done this discussion with this
Yeah.
thread? Hmm?
Yeah.
But exactly we need to try to map to our picture,
Yeah.
SRE picture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What is it actually? Where it can be mapped? It SRE.
So the SRE is basically uh, monitoring and performance. Basically, we are doing a production.
Yeah, one minute, one moment. Let me pull the picture, SRE
Sure.
picture from this one.
Hmm.
Uh, from Google, let us analyze with that and map these things.
Sure.
They have different versions,
Hmm.
not exactly the same.
Yeah, if you go to Google Images, you can find that actually what we have pulled it from there.
Yes,
Google Images directly.
I'll type Google image.
Yeah, you can go on top and then images is there, right? Images instead of all.
Here, this is related with Google on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What is this?
No, I mean you can go back.
Let me pull Google images.
Yeah, from images it will not. I mean you should not type that. Directly you can type. There is
In this,
top all
in this,
top.
in this I can type this. Yeah, you will get down. It's very old image.
Yeah,
Here.
right side. Yeah.
The visibility is not good. The same style of image is circulated. They have not changed the colors after that.
Mhm. Nothing.
Nothing. It is okay. Let me copy it. One minute. Let me do one
Sure,
thing.
sure. Excuse me.
I will take one PPT.
Sure.
Copying into that will be meaningful. I think this will be our regular discussion
Okay.
with reference to your profile.
Yeah.
I need to keep repository of this. Okay, now let us increase it. Display. You are able to
Sure.
see my
Sure.
screen, right?
Um, it says end of slideshow. Oh, yeah. Right now I'm able to see it. Yes.
Okay, this is very light. Okay, now
That's
with
fine.
reference to that job, they have given scalability. For scalability, they are
Yeah.
using monitoring dashboards and
Uh-huh.
designing the services SaaS.
Yes.
And
Yes.
recurring is happening it because of the issues escalated through the tools, monitoring
Yeah.
tools, and they are also
Yeah.
planning it for further improvement.
Yeah.
And they are working on the capacity increasing, which is called scaling.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear my
Follow.
voice?
Yes, I'm able to.
Yeah, capacity increasing. What is that scaling?
Yeah, capacity increasing is so based on your requirements, right? You get different sorts of from application layer to the production layer.
Right. In this environment, whatever they have given it, scaling is also needed. They are operating with the scaling. You are in a position to support for that activities, I'm saying.
Yeah, understand.
Right? Then SLA, service level agreements with the clients, because they are distributing the SaaS applications to the clients.
Yes.
They will all talk about the performance of the application, availability of the application.
Yep.
You know the concept HA.
Yeah, high availability.
Yes, okay, right.
Yeah.
Then traffic need to be tracked it, like low
Yeah,
latency, high
TCP/IP.
latency. Yes.
Yeah.
They are using that TCP protocols, all those things, right?
Mm.
Since it is not in cloud services setup, they are using independent networks. That old tradition need to be used under TCP/IP protocols only.
Yeah.
Networks are connected. Still, they are in the traditional setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they are using. So if you take production scalability, performance, reliability, and production as a tree, they are using the branches in the tree, like three branches in that particular tree. That's it. They are integrating all these things. Yeah.
Right. Now, another thing is performance-wise correlation is happening it. Then
Yeah.
incidents are getting flowed to the tools.
Yeah.
Then there you might need to do automation also for particular
Yeah.
incidents.
Yes.
So for simple things, automation scripts can be executed to fix the issue. Let us say
Yeah.
if the build issue is there, if configuration file issue is there, IP need to be checked it. All are
Yeah.
old setup only, honestly speaking. The methodology they are following, site reliability engineering, and not much DevOps is implemented. If they are implemented, then they'll start talking about the CI/CD in the job description.
Yes. Understand.
Right?
Yeah.
Then canaries are what actually?
Canaries are your basically the integration of performance and incidents basically.
Incidents are mapped to the modules are mapped to the work allocation. Then the allocation will happen automatically
Yeah,
to the
like a
resource.
bot.
Yeah, what programs are written there, but here the process is what in Canary, what can be the process in this kind of setup? See, let us say, I'll tell scenario. In dashboard, one incident came. That incident is floated with alerts. Then once the alert is accepted, then immediately Canary need to be speeded up with that particular process steps.
Okay.
You know, workflow systems used to be there. Remedy
Yeah,
has
yeah,
that workflow system.
yeah. IBM tool. Yeah,
No, Remedy tool. IBM also has got such kind of
yeah.
tools, but Remedy, I worked for Remedy in
Okay.
2004 and 3 to 4, 2 years, implementing that in Merrill Lynch that time as a
Okay.
QA manager. And there is a sequence of activities will be there. Activities creation, then allocation, then after that scheduling, then after that tracking, then completion,
Okay.
review and completion. All that need to be automated with different people. This review, why it should happen, whatever he has fixed it, that need to be deployed on particular environment, test it.
Okay. Something like a merge request actually. So once you create a pull request or a push request, right?
No,
Yeah.
in between whatever tools you are using configuration, it is not yet come to the deployment stage. Once I approve the work completion, how I am going to approve my work completion as per the Agile methodology? They did not mention Agile also here.
Okay.
They did not talk about sprint cycle also. You note down that point. You have to ask that question. So what is the methodology you are using SDLC for this process?
Okay.
When site reliability is applied it, assuming they are following that, but no single comment mentioned, no single line mentioned. You should be having experience of Agile or Sprint or Scrum, such kind of things.
Yeah.
Now, if you take that, what happens? Agile methodology wise, these are incrementally you are doing it. When you are doing incrementally, these tasks are given 4 hours to 1 week time for a developer. Then once that time is completed, it is ready for deployment, including testing, developing all these things.
Okay. So now I understand actually. So so it is like a simple example of, let's say you are working on a new feature or a new functionality. You do acceptance testing or beta testing or automated user acceptance testing, something like that. Then this goes to phase 1 from in a
Yes.
group of small users,
Yes.
and then it goes to small again it goes to phase 2 with a higher set of small users, and then you have like a router or a load balancer which goes through which has to be divided between the most number of users with a small set of users actually.
Right, but here that automation I'm talking, the
Oh,
concept
okay.
of automation implementation here, you should be step down, it should be in a position to step down to automate those process steps.
Okay, understand.
Or they might have done partial automation or full automation. Either you use Python or anything, but that interaction is there with particular tools where work allocation tools are there. Work
Got
breakdown
it.
system, all these things.
Yeah. Understand.
That is the part of the canaries creation.
Yeah, understand.
I'll show one thing. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know whether you got the chance to see my one of the this one. You also need to see that before going to them because you need to put a lot of questions to them.
Yeah, understand.
Oh no, just a moment. Let me pull my pages.
Okay.
See, Gartner published 4 years or 5 years back one white paper related to the DevOps.
Okay.
I have studied that research paper, and on top of that, I have prepared one video also. I have included these practices into my course also.
Okay.
Some of the practices might be useful to implement in site reliability. This particular site is for microservices, Docker, and this one,
Okay.
DevOps.
Okay.
You can see the videos. There is a separate group for this. Users are there.
Okay.
DevOps patterns are there as per
Got it.
the Gardner's report.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, if you want, you can see that.
Sure.
1 minute. Okay, let me increase the size for this.
Mm-hmm.
Here for you also.
Okay.
Here what happens,
Mm-hmm.
they talk about canaries also somewhere.
Okay. Continuous integration. Yeah, canary outline, canary
Yes.
rollouts.
In which group it is there? People group or process group or culture group or technology group?
Process.
Yeah, this process is there already in the site reliability engineering.
Got it.
Right? Now, how they are preparing the canaries?
So they are preparing the canaries with automated builds and
Yes,
automated
from
testing.
top to bottom, minimum viable product development is there as per the Agile
Yeah.
manifesto, and small branches, sprint cycles they are taking, automation builds they are creating it with DevOps culture and automation. Then
Yes.
automated testing will happen. Then all the supplying the people will be doing it here. Then release automation. Then they're doing a canary rollouts.
Yes. Understand.
So here, when we talk about the reliability engineering, they need to mention these canaries. But what they are doing, they are mentioning in the JD in high level, saying that you need to find some kind of gap here for asking questions, because you need to scale up yourself more, explain these particular processes to be implemented. What is the advantage I'm going to get as an employer to hire you?
Yeah, understand.
Right?
Yeah.
And they never talked about the process improvement anywhere. In site reliability engineering, process improvement is ongoing process.
Yes, understand.
Simply they are talking about production management.
Mm.
And you need to find, is it completely you are attached for monitoring the production issues only, or this particular role, or what is it?
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to track it.
Okay.
On-call escalations, they mentioned it. Then aptitude for troubleshooting complex problems in technology diverse environments, experience in enterprise uptime, monitoring solutions. And they have never mentioned it, you need to follow the guidelines, kind of thing.
Okay.
That's common, right? Process following.
Yeah. Process following is common.
So here these 2 points are related to some partially, I can say, related to canaries.
Yeah.
So here how it is there in the DevOps, it is coming under process part and culture part also.
Understand.
Right? You take this picture, just brush up the knowledge from the video also I discussed with experienced people only.
Okay. Sure.
In this video.
Okay.
Now let us come back to this. Track reliability. Reliability hot spotting is you are sharing the builds timely.
Yeah.
With the speed, following speed or acceleration of the rollouts. Rollouts are nothing but deployments.
Yeah.
Right? That can be considered for hotspotting without error. Again, if they are doing mistakes, then there is a gaps in building the things. There can be issues in building. There can be issues in fixing issue, assembling that packaging. I mean, assembling is packaging here, right?
Yeah.
On these things. Then what is the intent of doing that? That need to be identified and it should be intimated. The real build will go there.
Yeah.
It should be a working software as per a manifesto.
How reliable it is.
Yes. The reliability comes from the commitment what you have made through Agile manifesto. Agile manifesto also can be correlated here.
Yes.
Right? Then triage is what? Where they can implement triage process.
Yeah, triage process is the build is good or not. They verify it.
Who is going to verify? Whose responsibility?
Triage engineers.
What is the role of SRE in that?
So once the build is good or not, it has to be certified by an SRE.
Right.
Triage engineers send it to the SRE saying that, hey, the build is good. We didn't find any issues.
Is a triage engineer is nothing but production ops guy, right?
Yeah, prod ops, right? Prod ops, yeah.
As per the DevOps concept.
Yeah.
Right. Now your SRE is DevOps engineer kind of thing role.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
For the namesake, they are using SRE engineer, but honestly speaking, in high level or low level, at the end, compare the activities equivalent of DevOps engineer role only.
I mean, it's an alias name for DevOps.
Yeah, it is alias name. As activities are same, but they did not mention any of that process-related things, tools.
Yeah, I mean, see, from outside it looks like a kindergarten, but inside, if you go, it might be like a 10th class.
Right. Then dependencies. Yeah. Dependencies. Yes, obviously dependencies are identified it, and you need to configure the environment the same way.
Yeah.
Dependencies, one is if it is this kind of environment, not the cloud services environment, how to shut down the system and deploy it. What is the easiest way to do that? Like small patches, you are deploying, it means then it might not affect only that part need to be affected, that container need to be disturbed.
Yeah.
Then cluster need to be rebuilt it. Once the cluster is rebuilt it, the rebuilt version can be released it as a latest one on particular time in the production.
Got it.
That schedule also is possible, right, in deployment in Kubernetes. Am I right?
Yes.
At that time onwards, that pod need to be released. That kind of
Yes.
setup also can be done, right?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe in some of the other interviews, you need to demonstrate on the Kubernetes also a little bit. Now you don't have much time for this getting ready. So that will brush up all that. Then another thing is what is tooling, about tools, whatever you are making deployment through tools, reliability will be there. And then you need to build the right builds with process, in deployment process.
Yes.
Batching is what?
Batching is joining the parts of from QA, dev, or moving towards staging environment.
Can we talk that as a pipeline?
Yeah, it can be a pipeline, data pipeline, basically.
It is a DevOps pipeline, basically.
Yeah, it's a DevOps pipeline, but
data pipeline is different. Data pipeline will come into the warehouse, data warehouse.
Yeah. Understand.
Here your batching is nothing but you are batching the deployments.
Yeah, CI/CD, we can say that.
Yeah, in deployments, if you want to deploy a particular build in e-commerce site, then there is a dependency also with other systems. Those need to be updated it.
Yeah, understand.
Then those all will come like a batches only. Once you deploy one batch, the next batch will be there in the deployment schedule.
Yeah.
Those
like
all will come under batching. But
like
these also can be put under pipelines.
Yeah, understand.
In one pipeline, it will go through particular things, set of programs. Another pipelines, another set of programs and packages. All that can be there. Then alerting you are doing in production, we discussed that. Then engineering, what is it? Where all it comes?
Engineering is entire process actually that we are following.
The total process. Yes.
Yeah.
Performance engineering also will come.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever
engineering,
automation,
build process.
Yes, automation.
Yeah, pipelines.
Yes. Then prevention is where you can use prevention.
Prevention is if something fails. Let's say your any architecture, you take a 3-tier architecture, web server, app server, or your DB server or something. Something is failing. Your monitoring tool is not able to capture that. But outside world, they are unable to see your website. It can be like an e-commerce website or something. The payment gateway is failing, something like that. So that is like a prevention. What are the steps that you take or measures you take to prevent the system to reduce your stop on failures? Yeah,
right.
SPOF actually.
Right. Now visualization is from dashboards only. You will get it from the tools.
Yes, that's correct.
And automation, production automation also is there.
Yeah.
What kind of activities can be there in production automation?
The production automation is it can be let's say you want to kick off one of the runs and then release it to production. Release it to one build production or release one of your tar files to production or something like that. Then you have to write a cron job for it. At what time, at which place you want to post it or you want to release it. So you can, that is the production automation.
Right. But yeah, if you have continue, you can. Okay, the overall, hello?
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Okay, these blue color charts need to be remembered it and mapped to the JDs.
Yes.
These particular JD points. They have given very high level, which is not very clear also. I also used to develop a lot of job descriptions 10 years, 15 years back for multiple roles in the organizations. But I used to write very clearly.
Yeah.
I'll find some old JDs.
Sure,
If I
sure.
get it, I'll share it to you.
Sure, definitely.
But anyhow, technology is outdated.
Yeah.
So these things, whatever we discussed, it is coming in this scope, right?
Yeah, it is coming in scope actually.
Okay. Now you don't have any questions about this JD, right?
I don't have any questions about the JD.
Okay,
I'm
I'll
just
stop.
waiting for the questions to be asked from the interviewer perspective.
Right. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Let me stop recording.
Okay.